All right, I think we have gone live. So if I'm adding some extra text stuff today and I'm grappling with it. So if I seem a little distracted, that's probably why. But we're going to start anyway and see what happens as we continue on. So welcome to Sight Reading Maverick. If you're new here, this is my weekly sight reading show where I sight read music for an hour. I try to get as many people to send in requests as possible so I don't have to do the selecting. And this week was a fantastic week of requests. So we're going to have a lot of fun and we'll see what happens. And there is a chat box and I can see that. So by all means, if you want to leave some comments, please do so in the chat box. I love to see interaction going on. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I try not to talk too much though. But also with that, if there are any sound or video issues, please do let me know so I can try to correct those as we go. I think that's all I need to say for now. Oh, if you look in the comments below this video, I believe you'll see the program for today. All right, so without further ado, let me start. I'm going to say hello to Louis. I think Louis is there. I also see Inca Warrior is checking in with us today. So hello to both of you and anyone else watching. The first piece on today's program was a request from a Twitter friend, and this one is called Danse, Lente. Lente. For you, those of you who don't know me, I'm not good at languages, but anyway, it's by César, Franck, and it's quasi lento, of course, and it's in cut time, which means instead of, it looks like it's in 4 beats per measure, but really it should be felt in 2 beats per measure. And in F minor. F minor is one of my favorite keys, so I'm excited about this. Looks like the left hand is mostly accompanimental, although on the second page, it does get the melody for part of the time, so that should be exciting. And so I'll focus more on the left hand as soon as I swipe my page. What else? There are some dotted rhythms, both dotted 8/16 and dotted quarters and 16ths. That's really important to note because that's one of the most commonly misread rhythms that people make. So in my head, I am hearing the difference between them. Bum, ba, ba, bum, bum, versus bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. All right. Anything else? There's no key changes. At the end, it does go to poco più lento, so a little bit slower. Fastest note value are 16th notes. So especially because this is a lento, we don't want those 16th notes too fast. So my tempo I'm choosing is this for the quarter note. 1, 2, 3, and then in cut time, 1, 2. What a beautiful piece. So that was César Franck's Danse, Lente. A lot of beautiful things about that. I hadn't really foreseen the triplets. I probably should have caught those earlier on in the mix that came in the left hand, but luckily I think I managed those pretty well. Yeah, there were some, it was quite straightforward harmonically with some interesting harmonic little surprises in there. Louis just commented that he sight read this yesterday. Oh my goodness, what a coincidence. That's crazy. Yeah, really lovely. So I guess, Louis, I probably won't read it next week. But you always come up with such great choices. All right, next on the program is a request by Louis. This is by Maria Agata Szymanowska. I hope I'm saying that somewhat correctly. And this is her Nocturne. She lived from 1789 to 1831. And I mean, I know of her, and I think I've read through some of her stuff, or at least heard it, but I do not know this work. I love nocturnes. Of course, nocturnes are nice because they tend to be on the slower side. So we'll see. Typical nocturne left hand with the broken chords. So I'll be reading harmonically largely, trying not to read note by note in the left hand. In the right hand, we've got, of course, a beautiful melody that looks like it gets more and more fancy as we go. Looks like sort of as we go on into the later pages, the left hand will develop a little bit. We have a passage that has a lot of arpeggios, but see, it's still harmonic, so I'll try to be grasping those harmonies. Looks like the harmonic movement does get a little bit fancier. What else can I glean? Oh, I should say what key it's in. It's in B flat major. 16th notes a lot in the right hand, and then again I mentioned it happens in the left hand. And since it's a nocturne, I don't want them to go too crazy. That'll probably be my tempo. Oh my gosh, at the end, we've got a lot of 8VA and a little bit of awkwardness going on. However, what I notice is that the top note, the pinky, will just be playing high Fs. So I'll try to keep that in mind. It's the bottom voice that's going to move. All right, let's try it. So it's 12/8, but of course, really 4 beats per measure. that is an exquisite piece and is one that I may have to consider for our Piano Music She Wrote channel. I don't know if Sandra is here, but maybe she can pipe in and give a vote if she thinks that should go on there. Yeah, that was really beautiful. I had a little bit trouble in the middle. My daughter was making lunch and was very distracting. But anyway, all is good. Lots of beautiful things in there. I was grappling a little bit, which you might have been able to tell, with the tempo choice. And at the beginning, as with so many pieces, the beginning will start slower before the hard stuff happens. So at the beginning, I was feeling a little bit of anxiety. I felt like I wanted to go faster, but then I had this argument in my head. I was also telling myself, beware, beware, it's going to get faster and harder, so careful. Anyway, beautiful. So Louis, thank you for recommending that one. All right, here's where technology is going to come into play. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try this. So I'm going to try, because the next piece I'm about to do is a piece that is written by a friend of mine. I read his music last week as well. His name is Hwaen and this is obviously not online. It's not available on IMSLP, so you all can't follow necessarily from home. So what I'm going to try to do right now is share my iPad screen that I'm reading from with you. I have no idea if this is going to work. So everyone, fingers crossed, hold your breath, or don't. Okay, it's going to take 3 seconds. And now I'm going to skip over, hopefully, to my music. And of course there's a delay, so I won't know if it's going to work until a minute from now. All right, but the piece I'm going to start with is from a collection called A Little Treasure Box. And I believe Hwaen is watching, so this will be fun. And I am going to be reading first his Sicilienne. Sorry, I'm very distracted right now. Close your eyes if it bothers you as I'm scrolling through. Where is it? I think it's coming up. There it is. Okay, so I think you can hopefully see it on the screen. Except it just went by. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is Hwaen's Sicilienne, and it is in 6/8. I love Siciliennes. For those who have watched my show before, you'll know that. And so 6/8, so really felt in 2 beats per measure in C minor. Very straightforward Sicilienne at the beginning in terms of you've got the rhythm in the left hand, and then you've got the melody in the right hand. The melody, of course, continues in the right hand, but the left hand does get more complicated with 16ths. So I'll keep that in mind as I choose tempo. Does that for a little while, and then it goes back to the more regular Sicilienne rhythm. So here we go. Oh, you know what I'm seeing is that actually the screen sharing might not work well. So I'm going to make the decision to turn it off, I think. Yes, I'm going to turn it off because it's saying that I don't have enough bit rate, and I would rather the sound good. So sorry folks, I didn't know until I tested it live. So back to old-fashionedville. All right, the Sicilienne. Here we go. And I'm hoping this will go back. Yep, there we go. I hope this works. Okay. So 16's yada. As always with Hwaen's music, I think that was absolutely gorgeous. So, Hwaen, thank you so much for that. Sorry for the dropped double flats. I got very tense in that spot, and I was still recovering from my technology disappointment. Anyway, really beautiful. And I was so distracted with my technology that I didn't explain that Hwen is a friend of mine from college days. And he still lives in Rochester, which is where we went to school. Um, but anyway, it's a joy to be playing his music again. I also wanted to play another piece of his from this set called Little Treasure Box. That's what the set is called. And the piece I'm going to do next is called Sighs, if I can find it. Here it is. So I'm into slow music today. It's just the way it kind of ended up. This one is in F sharp minor. It's marked moderato. This has double sharps in it, so we'll see how some of the double sharps go, going from double flats to double sharps. We have an accompanimental pattern in the left hand that is a little bit jumpy, so we'll see how I manage that. How do I manage that? I don't even know. I'm really going to try to focus on getting at least the first note of each group of 4 in the left hand, because that provides that harmonic, nice bass to set off the harmony. So even if I don't play the rest of the harmony, maybe you can make it up in your ear. And then the melody is in the right hand. We've got some grace notes thrown in that start about at the end of the first page. Not very many of them. If I feel like I need to leave them out, I will, because that just makes it a little easier to navigate. Fastest note value really is not much of anything. Eighth notes. You've got some dotted eighths and sixteenths. Trying to hear the melody in my head. To choose a tempo. So I'm latching onto that passage to choose the tempo that has those grace notes, because to me the grace notes within a slower tempo piece with a title called Sighs, you don't want those grace notes to sound frantic or frenetic. So that's why I'm choosing that to base the tempo on. So 3, 4. Beautiful. There were some really interesting inner lines in the left hand. I don't know if you could hear them, but they were very prominent at the end. In fact, that's really what largely drives the ending. And if you didn't recognize they were there, people would be like, what's going on? Anyway, beautiful Hwaen. Yet another beautiful piece. Oh, and I think he said, yay! He said perfect tempo, so that makes me feel pretty good. So thank you for those pieces, Hwaen. I know you have to run off, so thanks for joining today and for your pieces. All right, the next piece on the program, let's see if I can get out of this. Lovely technology. The next piece on the program is also written by a friend of mine. It's actually a student that I work with at Radford University, and he sent me this piece. And so I decided I would go ahead and give it a read. And I thought I should mention that because he asked me to do this, it got me thinking that perhaps I'd like to start doing this, especially for student composers who are composing piano pieces. So I'm hoping to add one of these pieces, if I get enough of them, every week, should this be an interest. And but I just want to give you a heads up that I will be looking at them, not reading them, but I will be looking at them before I agree to put them on the show, just because I want to make sure that I can do them justice in a sight reading atmosphere. Some new music, of course, can be really, really difficult to read. So with that said, this is a piece called Obscure by Terrance Shepherd. I just glanced at it to make sure I thought I could read it. So we'll see how this goes. And I see that Terrance has joined us. So let's see how it goes. This is fun because I know Terrance, so this will be really fun to see what he has produced in terms of compositions. I've never heard one of his pieces. Obscure is the title. It's marked depth and feeling. Quarter note equals 58. That's really helpful to know that. He has a key signature of 3 sharps. I don't know if it's A major or F sharp minor, or neither. We'll find out. We've got 16th notes. Looks like that's the fastest note value. We've got this might help me determine a tempo too. We've got dotted 8/16. So that'll help. And then we've got triplets. So if this is the quarter note, yum, bum, 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 and then 16ths will be yum, bum, 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 yum, bum, 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 bum. Et voila. That is Terrance Shepard's very newly written work called Obscure. He is a student composer. So that was a thrill to read that. Thank you, Terrance. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes, and I'll be looking for feedback from people as to whether or not this will be interesting for people. All right, next on the program, I think I might have skipped something, so please forgive me for that. This is going to be Emmanuel Chabrier's Feuille d'album. I don't know if I said that right. And this was a request also made by Louis. And yeah, so here we go. I don't remember how many there are of them. Oh, I think I just already selected the one he chose. So we'll see. Okay, 3/4, F sharp minor. It says in the tempo assez lente vos. I don't remember what assez means. We'll see. I think it's going to be a slow waltz. At least that's how I'm going to interpret that. It looks pretty straightforward. We do have some double sharps in here, which indicate to me that we're probably going to have some tempo change or key changes. I've also got some triplets that come into the mix here. So we start off with mostly eighth note duple division of the beat. But then on the third page, we do go into triplets. So I'll definitely want to keep that in mind in choosing the tempo. Got some ledger lines in the right hand, but I'm noticing that those ledger lines are in octaves. So I will just focus on the bottom notes, which are not in ledger lines. There's a very nasty one up here at the very end. So I'm trying to see what it is, so it doesn't catch me off guard. I want my ending to be as good as possible. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 1. That did not quite go as planned. I think I chose a wonky tempo. What happened? I really should have heard in my head. Okay, so I think that's a better tempo. Yeah, okay. Well, so this is a learning experience for me too. All right, so that one didn't go quite as well as I would have liked it to, but I think it's a very cool piece, and I think that's why it's bothering me so much that it didn't go as well. But thank you, Louis, for that recommendation, and that is one that I would like to keep my eyes on. The next request, I'm looking at time. I think we're doing okay. We've got a request from Terrance, whose piece I just played, for one of Fanny Hensel's Melodies, Opus 4. I do not know these at all. It's a little bit of a not so nice addition, which is very normal with some of these less frequently performed pieces. But we're gonna try it. It's marked allegretto. It's in C sharp minor. I'm probably not gonna do it legitimately allegretto because it looks a little tricky and awkward. But I'm gonna try to get the musical point across. Left hand is accompanimental. Right hand looks like it has a nice melody. Ooh, it sounds pretty. Okay, this will be good. So a left hand is just harmonic. So I really want to try to focus on the bass notes. And then whatever happens in the inner voice will happen with the inner voice. Let's just try it. We're running short on time at this point, so now I'll just kind of start playing. Okay, take back. Sorry. C sharp minor. Let's try that again. Oh, wait. Yeah. What am I doing? Yeah, that's right. My brain is shutting down. Watch out, folks. That is absolutely exquisite. I really, really love that, Terrance. I don't know if I said who wrote it. My brain is really not here today. That was by Fanny Hensel, who was Felix Mendelssohn's sister. Gorgeous. That one needs to go up on the YouTube channel, I do believe. Wow. Really gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And I'm looking at the comments here. Oh, it looks like we had somebody that complimented Terrance on his piece. Fabulous! And that's a Twitter friend of mine, so thank you for piping in with your comment. All right, the last piece on the program is a sonata by Muzio Clementi. So a few weeks ago, somebody had recommended me reading a Clementi sonata. I had never played one of his sonatas. I've only played and dabbled with his sonatinas. I really enjoyed it, so I decided I wanted to try to read another sonata. So here we go. This is his sonata. I'm having trouble today. His sonata in F major, which I'm now trying to find. And so we're at the end of the show, which means I am just going to read. So here we go. We'll see how my brain does. I will skim it though. I'm just not going to narrate. All right, see how it goes. about end on the right chord? Anyway, oh, drats. Okay, anyway, that was fun. A little daunting, but still fun. All right, shall we go on to the Adagio? Oh, Richard joined us. Hello, Richard. You can always go back and watch. So even if you missed some, you can go back. All right, Adagio, B flat, 3/4. Oh, this looks like a fun subdivision one. Oh, yippee skippy. But luckily, I think 16ths are mostly running throughout, so I'll use that as my measuring stick. But I also need to figure out how fast I want to do this, or how slow. Because I don't want it to sound too frantic. Okay, that was a little bit odd, I have to say. Maybe I just played it all wrong. Okay, whatever. All right, on to the last movement, which is a rondo allegretto con spirito. So that means hard, probably. Oh, heavens. Okay, there's lots of fast figurations. I am not going to take this too fast. Oh man, it's long too. Okay, everybody, hold on to your hats for this one. Okay, I might go overtime. Feel free to leave if you need to. Thanks for joining, if you were here. That was really a lot of fun to play, actually. So, hooray. I'm not sure that I would ever want to perform it. Um, but it was fun nonetheless. So thanks everyone for joining me, and thanks everyone for contributing requests and for contributing actual pieces. We'll see where this all goes, and I will hopefully work on the technology side of things this week to see if I can't make it possible to share the score with you, especially for works that aren't on IMSLP. So stay tuned, send me your requests. If you can, a little bit on the earlier side. I try to put the show together on Saturday, so I'm ready to go on Sunday morning, because I do laundry Sunday morning, technicality. So send me your requests and join me next Sunday. Thanks so much, everyone.